Vincent, yes, good morning.
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you?
Yes, well, yes, on balance.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I'm good. I'm a bit. I'm actually emotionally unbalanced at the moment, and that's just a self-diagnosis. You might have more insight into that, but I think the whole artificial emotion intelligence conference has totally upset my emotions. Pardon me. Are you okay?
Oh, goodness. I really wasn't expecting that, yes. Well, and tell me, so quickly, because normally these attempts of yours sort of, they sort of take a long time to gestate. They kind of fester for a while, and then and then they sort of bubble over into some symptoms, and then you finally acknowledge. But this is just like from 0 to 100. But tell me more. Yes.
Well, I actually blame my work, because it was my work that sent me on this conference because of compliance and having to do things a certain way. And I thought my emotional balances were pretty good. But then apparently, compared to like artificial emotion, I'm not. So I've had to readjust a lot of my feelings and a lot of my reactions as well. So I don't know. I'm just sort of, I find myself not reacting to things I should be reacting to, and then reacting to not reacting to things I should be reacting to.
Right. And do you find yourself sometimes re-reacting?
Yes, sometimes I will think I will react at a reaction.
Yes.
And so then, I don't know. I'm really, my emotions are all over the shop.
I see. Well, it's good. You mentioned reacting because, up until now, in the absence of these artificial emotions, it sounds like you were just acting, whereas now you're reacting a lot more, which is a whole new skill set, really. So well done, you. I think it's something to give yourself a pat on the back about. If that, yeah. So that sounds
I can't reach. Oh.
But it does sound very positive. It's a very positive step towards wherever it is that you happen to be going.
Yes.
But yes. So just reacting and is it reacting to your actions or to other people's actions? Or a combination of the two?
Well, sometimes if someone takes action, I'll react, and then they will react, and then I'll react, and then it just becomes a whole, we just keep reacting, and then I get lost in what was the first.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what was the first action, but then I'm stuck on the reaction.
Right. Well, look, if I may offer a simple diagnosis, and really I shouldn't be, but I mean, look, at this stage, it's the least I can do, and that's I always strive for that. The least I can do, because then I don't have to do any more. But if I were to diagnose, it sounds to me like you may be overreacting.
Yes. So what you're saying is that maybe I should underreact?
Well, yes, just to kind of, I guess, like a thermostat, go a little bit too far in the other direction and just
Yes.
go back to acting, and then just sort of try a little bit of reacting. Try and avoid reacting, because then you just sort of just go back to acting. But it's interesting. But look, as a sort of a mental exercise, maybe if you could, just as a thought, and you can see how this works for you is
Yes.
Sort of imagine if you could go back in time.
Yes.
And you could be there, and you could meet yourself, and that all gets very confusing, as we know. We've talked about this, in the Terminator. How does Arnold? Well, what happens? Do you fight each other?
Yes.
But imagine that were feasible in some way, and you met yourself in the past, and sort of think about the sorts of things you would want to say. Now, obviously you want to sort of. We're not interested in things like buy Apple shares. That's not what this is about. But what's the kind of thing you would say to yourself in sort of in the past, not too distant past? I mean, don't go back to childhood or anything like that. We're not there yet. Yeah.
I would say real estate, buy up
real estate. Well, but avoiding those sort of opportunities to get rich quick.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. But more in the sort of sort of emotional realm, I guess.
Yes. Okay. I would say look at the portions.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, like in any kind of, look at the portions, really evaluate what you're getting compared to other people.
Yes. Okay. And again, that's taking us quite a long way back to. And by the way, how is? I mean, obviously, you're not having the sort of the portion gate anymore. With your partner, but does that just does that leave you sort of open to just having whatever damn portion size you want?
Yes, yes, it has. I mean, I haven't spoken to my partner for over 3 months now. I have to say, it's got, it's not comfortable. The portioning has, I'm not going for portions anymore. I'm just going for the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. So you're definitely not pro portion. Okay.
You're anti-portion. I'm anti-portion.
Anti-portion. So
I'm overreacting and anti-portion.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That puts you on. Yes. Interesting. That does put you on. Well, look. I think. It's and I was just thinking, after our last session, just the progress you'd made, and I was actually I prepared some steps for us to take to disengage, because I felt like really there's nothing more I can do for you if there ever indeed was. This puts me in a bit of a bind, because I really feel like it may be time to stop, but I don't want to kind of leave you alone with all those portions, because God knows what will happen then.
Oh, I feel like I'm back I'm sort of not even back at the start. I'm beyond the start. I'm before. You're before where we started.
Yeah. So you got to. All right. Well, listen. Maybe look. Maybe it's not a bad idea. Look. Have a bit of a think about. Whether it's if you're back there. Well.
Yes.
Really, it's just as simple as just starting all over again, really, and
yes.
And I think you kind of know the trajectory, and
yes.
you should be able to get at least back to where you are now,
yes.
more or less in the same way, with the same result, which itself would be an achievement, because you're all the way back there. And then once you're here, maybe we could take a different approach, and maybe there's some
yes. I think that's I think that's the key, and I really appreciate that. It's just become very clear to me that by going back,
yes,
we've kind of come full circle, but we've gone past the circle.
Yeah, yes. If you look at it as a circle, you've kind of lapped yourself in a way. Yeah.
Yes, I have. So to start again I think will be really beneficial.
Well, it will. I mean, look, just go back to that. Get your funky shoes out.
Yes.
Get Farmer Dave in and his wife, and shoot her in the face if you have to. Just step through all that. Because it may what it may do is make you feel a bit more, because you started saying that you feel a little bit out of sorts. Like I think that sort of charted territory as opposed to uncharted territory may give you a sense of confidence, and all those mistakes you made. Being able to make them again, you'll feel it may be like deja vu, but it'll feel great, I think. Whereas before you felt a little bit bad about them. This time I think you can go, this feels like an old T-shirt, comfortable, not with
Yes, I could anticipate the sort of the bad and revel in it.
Well, there'll be fewer surprises for sure. But anyway, we yes, and once again, I trust there's been no harm or self-harm, but it doesn't sound like it, apart from overreacting, overacting.
All good. Okay. Look, I've a lot to think about, and I'm looking forward to starting again.
Yes, well, let's touch base in a little while once you've sort of traversed, and maybe just a sort of a check-in to see how you're going, and that's really, and look, maybe once you get to that point, you'll want to do it all over again. That's the great thing about it.
Right. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yep. I think that sounds good.
All right, well, terrific. Would you look after yourself and look in, back to the future, back to the past, really. So cheerio then.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Michael.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.